Hello.
Hi from Salt Lake City today.
We are in the Salt Lake City.
We're visiting for the day. So
I'm Rami.
yeah, this is Rami, and I am Monica.
She's Monica, my beautiful wife.
We are Original Intent Life Coaching. We help Christians get emotionally and relationally healthy so that they can thrive in all that Jesus has for them.
Yes, we do.
We're really, really passionate about it, and that's what we want to talk with you about today.
Why do we do this? I just want to invite you guys to join the journey in our Eden Intensive. We actually are enrolling students right now in our Eden Intensive, and this is where all of the amazing work happens.
Yeah, it's our signature group coaching program, and we work through healing relationship with yourself, healing relationship with God, and healing relationship with others. And we do it in the context of safe community, and it's really powerful, and we really love it and enjoy it. And our clients do too.
Yeah. So I also was thinking, like, I would love to hear your thoughts as we're talking. So feel free to comment down below, or like send us a personal message and ask us a question or start a conversation. We would love to get to know you a little bit more. And anyway, so let's go. So how did this journey start with us? How did we end up doing this?
Well,
and why?
That's
why
a
would
good
we do
question.
this?
Actually, so we both love Jesus.
Yeah, we do.
We both have our own Jesus stories, where he was like 3 when he gave his life to Jesus. I was 21, and I wouldn't change it for anything. And so our heart from the get-go is, like, our dream together has always been to disciple, to mentor, to raise up, and to launch people, really.
Yeah.
Like we even have greater dreams of, like, having a missions base and stuff. But so that's the foundation. We love Jesus.
Yeah.
And we both have been on our own healing journeys, like specifically in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Did you want to say something? You sounded like you wanted to.
Yeah. No, I just hey Josh. Hey, so yeah, definitely I've been on my healing journey. I've healed from addiction to pornography, I've healed from fear, anxiety, from depression, and I'm still on a journey of healing past pain. That's the beautiful thing, is it's a journey, and it's like, have you ever seen Shrek? It says, like, ogres are like onions, they have layers. But the point of that is not ogres or onions, is that healing happens in layers, and we're on this beautiful journey of like never stopping. We want to not be afraid of pain, not be afraid of hard things.
Yeah. And so kind of my story in it all is I gave my life to Jesus, and I experienced crazy just like acceleration in my faith, like crazy levels of healing, crazy levels of intimacy with God, and just amazing community. And then I came to a point where there was like this series of traumatic events. I had never experienced trauma. I honestly had no concept for trauma. And so my
because we in our growth process as Christians, we actually both ended up in a more of a victorious culture, which we like victorious culture, but with it can come
this expectation of like there shouldn't be failure, like,
and denial of pain, which doesn't help you heal your pain.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And so I did all of the things that I knew how to get healing in a Christian way. I went to retreats, I spent time with the Lord, I pressed into prayer, to worship, received prayer from other people's. I went to ministries. I did all of the stuff. I declared, and like, if I'm gonna be honest, like, I actually was in a more stressed, more anxious place than I was at the beginning. And like, I knew what freedom felt like. I knew what intimacy felt like with the Lord. I knew what it felt like to feel connected and alive and full.
Yeah.
And I wasn't feeling that. And so along with the trauma, which I didn't realize this at the time, came so many layers of shame. Like, shame likes to attach itself to trauma and to pain. And I had no grid for this. I just thought in the terms of like lies and truth. And so I was like, well, like, you know, I'm renewing my mind with truth. Why is it not working? And I'm taking thoughts captive. I'm doing spiritual warfare. I'm doing all of this stuff. Why is it not working? And honestly, I did a ministry school, and it triggered performance in me, which was deep down this rejection, that feeling rejected by God. And I just went into an even bigger spiral. And so after we had our son, we got married. I was still struggling. We had our son. I had crazy postpartum anxiety, and literally my body, like, I could not do emotionally. I had no capacity to do the things I had done before. Like, it was like I could not be around the people who triggered me. Like, my mentally, emotionally, my body was just shut down. And I was experiencing just irrational fear, like it was just, I felt like I was going crazy. And from that place, I started saying, like, okay, something needs to change. And in that place, God started showing me that healing begins in the heart and not the mind. And I had been addressing it from the mind. And so through coaching, through counseling on this journey, I unraveled, I got connected to my heart. I realized that, like, so many Christians are so, like, especially in America, we're so focused up here, and God has made us relational beings. And so one of the things that we were passionate about is, like, we saw a huge gap in the church for this, a huge need for a safe place for healing, where people knew how to respond to pain, where people knew how to come alongside each other in their pain, and to be able to walk through struggle, to walk through, you know, like, you could be the most victorious person, and then, like, you could see someone so victorious and you never know they have a porn addiction.
Yeah, and so you know, I experienced this with, you know, in church, which you know, I understand why it happens, but you know, I struggled with porn for a long time, and it was almost like this thing, like, I don't know how I'm gonna get over this. And you know, you'd maybe talk in accountability groups or like with friends, like, hey, oh man, I struggled this week. You know, maybe you get maybe a week, you know, and you're like, yeah, and then you fall again, and there's all this pressure of like, oh, I can't, it's gonna happen, like, again. Oh no.
Oh, it happened.
And then you know, I remember different times talking with different pastors, and it's like, no one really knew, you know, they maybe would recommend a book or something like that, and it always seemed like this thing that most of the church struggled with, like fear and anxiety, but no one knew how to address it. And you also didn't feel like there was a safe place or a place that really mattered to say it. Because, like, if you have an accountability group, oftentimes it'd be like, oh yeah, I struggled, I failed. Oh, I failed too. And then you're like, well, what's the use of this? So really, like, going for years of like, what does it look like to actually heal and find victory in this?
Yeah,
and practically,
like, we know it's available. We know Christ has given it to us, and yet we find ourselves, like, still struggling with X, Y, and Z.
Right.
So how do we get that? And it's not through, what we've discovered is it's not through self-discipline.
It's not through trying harder. It's actually through going to that place where it started. See, in America we have this like I think it's kind of like we diagnose symptoms and not the cause. So there's actually a place in you that is feeling like it's missing something. Like you have a void somewhere. You have something that happened as a child, and a pain, and pornography is just the medicine. It's just the medicine to numb the pain, but the problem is it doesn't last. And so is self-hatred. Self-hatred numbs the pain.
Self-hatred is a motivation. Like, we use it to motivate ourselves. Self-discipline, like, and it can be wrapped up, like, it can look like self-discipline in a package, but the reality is that it's actually self-hatred. And like, even if it looks like, oh, I'm gonna declare more truth and stuff, we say that like we're doing spiritual warfare, but in reality we're actually like
self-deprecating.
Self-deprecating and in self-hatred.
It's more of an inner battle than a true, like, I'm standing like with this goodness. I'm actually feeling like I'm more like God, like this knowing who you are, like this true identity thing where you actually love yourself and you start being free to decide good things because you feel validated. You feel like the person you should be. Like you start, it's healing from the inside out. The Bible talks, Jesus accused the Pharisees for being like whitewashed tombs. And I would say a lot of the church is like that and it's not because they want to be. It's like they look clean on the outside, Whitewash is like a, you paint tombs. They used to paint tombs with this kind of like chalk, like white stuff, and you cover it over. It looks all nice and clean, but you walk in it and it's a tomb of death. And so we saw that happening over and over again. And we didn't want to be people who judge the church. We wanted to be a part of the answer, part of the solution. So we really believe in the church, and we see that we can be a part of teaching Christians how to deal with pain and
difficult
addiction, difficult relationships, even from marital relationships. We love to counsel couples and help them deal with boundaries and
even singles,
healthiness, and singles.
Like we essentially in our
Calvin.
journey, we saw like I said earlier, there was a gap. There was a gap in like, okay, we know Christ has given us freedom, and we're contending for freedom, and we're experiencing measures of freedom. But then, like, how do we get greater levels of freedom?
There's that,
and it's like actually like it's this practical discipleship piece.
Discipleship, yeah.
That we're missing. It's this discipleship piece that we're missing, and we became passionate about sharing that with others and creating a space where Christians can feel safe to grow and learn and overcome, and where they can in turn go and carry that out into the world around them.
That's so awesome. Yeah, exactly. And so, like, if any of this is like resonating with you, I just ask that you would comment below, like chat with us, send us a PM. We are excited to connect with you, and we love you. And we are gonna put our link below for the Eden Intensive, because I'm thinking some people are probably thinking like, how do I know more about this? So either say I'm in, if you're interested, or click the link and go to it for yourself. You can actually, there's different payment plans. You can actually just sign up from the link.
Yeah, and the Eden Intensive is for any Christian who is hungry to experience greater levels of connection and intimacy, greater levels of freedom, greater levels of relational wholeness. Like, it's a launch pad for you, and it's in the context of community, and it's for you if you are ready for all of those things. And if you're ready for greater connection with Jesus, we want to invite you to go ahead and click or message us, and we would love to get you started.
Yeah, let's get going.
All right.
Yeah, we love you guys, and thank you guys for being part of this conversation with us, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.